Okay, let's unpack this. We're diving deep today into supporting parents, caregivers really, as their children get ready for quite a key meeting. That one-to-one careers advice session, specifically the one at Wrotham School with Mrs Hollinshead. So our mission, well, it's twofold. We want to pull out some actionable steps for that prep chat, but maybe even more vital, identify the support systems that are there for you, the parent or caregiver.
Yeah, and it's really important to say up front, I think, that this whole thing is designed to be pretty low pressure.
Mm.
We should definitely reassure you listening that it's meant to be, a relaxed conversation. There aren't any right or wrong answers here,
Yeah.
and it's absolutely okay, even expected sometimes, if your child isn't sure what they want to do next. That's sort of the point. That's what Mrs. Hollinshead is there for, to help figure that out together.
Okay, that's crucial framing. So it's less about having the answer beforehand
Hmm.
and more about bringing the ingredients for the conversation.
Exactly, providing the ingredients.
So let's talk about that pre-meeting conversation then, the one between the parent and child. The one that helps move along the actual meeting with the advisor, make it efficient. Kind of like Operation No Surprises.
Sort of, yes. So the conversation points, they do cover the basics like, future ideas, decisions coming up. But the real value, I think, comes from digging a bit deeper. Things like what they genuinely enjoy, what they feel they're good at, their skills, sure, but also their interests. And importantly, their values and what actually motivates them, even their learning style.
Hold on, values and motivation. If we're aiming for low pressure, doesn't asking about all that sound a bit like, well, homework? How do parents bring that up without making it feel like an interrogation?
That's a really fair point. The idea isn't to quiz them. It's more about framing it as a shared exploration.
Hmm.
Take values, for example. They often underpin everything else, what drives someone. Understanding if a child values, say, creativity over security, or maybe helping others, that helps Mrs. Hollinshead connect who they are to potential pathways. It's much more useful than just listing favorite subjects.
Right, makes sense. And speaking of pathways, the sources mention reviewing the career suggestions on Moresby together. For anyone listening who isn't familiar with the Rudum setup, what is Moresby? What's in that suggestions section?
Ah, Moresby. It's quite a clever online platform, really. Students do assessments looking at aptitudes, interests, personality, and that suggestions section basically translates all those abstract qualities into concrete career ideas. So reviewing it together gives you both some shared language, some actual starting points, moving beyond just guesswork.
Got it. And one last practical tip from the prep side. Encourage the child to actually jot down any questions they have beforehand.
Yes, definitely. Simple but effective.
Yeah.
Whether it's about specific A-level choices or maybe apprenticeships or, anything they're unsure about, having those written questions helps them take ownership of the meeting.
It ensures they walk out feeling like they got their questions answered.
Precisely. Heard and informed.
Okay, so that covers preparing the student. But let's pivot now. We absolutely need to talk about who's supporting the parent through all this, because let's face it, navigating post-16, post-18 options, it can feel pretty complex for parents too.
It really can. But there is actually quite a solid support structure, specifically for the adults. If you go onto the Wrotham School website under the careers section, there's a whole area labeled Parents and Carers. It's dedicated entirely to you.
And it's not just one type of resource, is it? That's what stood out. There are web links for quick lookups, conversation starters like little cheat sheets, but also podcasts, which is great for maybe a deeper dive on the commute, covering things like uni versus apprenticeships.
That variety is key, yeah. Web links, podcasts, conversation prompts, and it's kept updated too. And remember, your role doesn't stop the minute the meeting ends. It's good to chat with your child afterwards about what was discussed, although, sometimes straight after isn't the best time. Maybe pick it up later. The main thing is helping them think about and follow up on the action plan they agree on in the meeting.
And that action plan, that's something the student creates with Mrs. Hollinshead.
Yes, they write it together during the session.
Okay. And what if, after all this, the parent still has questions? Maybe quite specific ones. Can they talk to Mrs. Hollinshead directly?
Absolutely. That direct line is there for reassurance. You are actively encouraged to have your own chat with her if you need it. You can email her, arrange a phone call. Plus, she's usually at parents' evenings and other school events. So that support is definitely accessible.
So what this deep dive really highlights is that preparing for this meeting, it isn't just about coaching the student. It's fundamentally about having that strong, informed support structure around them and around you, the parent.
Yeah. Exactly. And maybe connecting that back to the end goal. Remember, during that meeting, the student writes their own action plan. They define their next steps. Which leads to, I think, quite an interesting thought. What does it really mean? What stands out to you about empowering a student to actually write down and own their next steps like that?
Something definitely worth thinking about as you start those conversations. Thanks for diving in with us today.